Hey guys, as you see, I got the haircut, and we're looking over the next two entries in the Brave series. That being the Brave Police J. Decker, and the Brave of Gold, Goldran. But let's talk about J. Decker first. J. Decker continues the theme of man-built robot protectors that was used in the previous entry, Might Gain. So, what's the overall plot? Well, our two main leads are Yuta Togoma and Descartes. One day, Yuta accidentally stumbles upon Descartes' laboratory, and the more time he spent with Yuta, his super AI, the next generation artificial intelligence, began to develop. And as a result of this, the police of Japan commissioned a new division, the Brave Police, with Yuta as their boss. So Yuta, Descartes, and their Brave Police comrades find evil masterminds, robots piloted by evil masterminds, and biological monsters, and sometimes aliens. Yes, seriously. Now, Yuta would use what I like to use the Brave Commander. The Brave Badge, which acted as his badge, and also was similar to Maito's wrist device, was necessary to call the combinations. But first, let's go at Descartes. Descartes. Who was the first of the Braves? Who was first of these brave robots, whose vehicle form was a Japanese police car. Now, he also had a massive support vehicle that was known as J. Rotor. Which this isn't seen outside of a few episodes, in the toy line was used to carry Descartes. Now, the combined form is known as J. Decker. Now, J. Rotor forms most of the body, including but not limited to shoulders, arms, hands, hips, legs, thighs, knees, legs, and feet. While Descartes' vehicle mode forms the chest and head. And also, as a nice touch, the science of Descartes' vehicle mode actually formed the head and face, which is a nice touch in my opinion. However, in another episode, Descartes lost all his memory. However, in previous two episodes, celebrating Descartes' birthday and the anniversary that he and Yuta met, Descartes was actually killed. Now, while this is sad, this being a police show, it's not actually that far off. Because, as some of you may know, police officers are often killed in the line of duty. But what doesn't happen to officers is that their corpses are taken control of by an evil sentient space rock. Yes, seriously. However, they were able to recover his body. However, he did temporarily lose his memories because of the experience, but he was able to get them back. Next, we need to go into Duke Fire, oh crap, I forgot. Now, Descartes, unlike his past counterparts, does not have a sword-based finishing move. Yet. but he does have a gun-based finishing move, which makes sense since he's a police officer. This is known as the J Buster, which can be used as a regular gun or powerful sniper rifle-like object. Next, we need to go into Duke, who was created based on Descartes. Well, sort of. You see, all Super AIs after Descartes were copies of his, but their personalities were still different. But anyway, Duke's vehicle form was based on being built in England. His is based on his vehicle form is based on an English ambulance. Now he was made by another character named Regina. I'm not going into her backstory, but she tried to make Duke her perfect policeman, not swayed by emotions, or as she called them, evil thoughts. However, after spending time with the others, he realized that what Regina called evil was actually very necessary. Wasn't actually all that bad. And we later learned through Regina's backstory that he knew and just wanted to be her perfect policeman. How did he learn that emotions and evil thoughts weren't connected? Well, most of the time. Well, it was during a battle where that space meteorite was formed into a sword. And when the others ever tried to form their super robot modes, they failed. Because energy from the newly made sword that was forcing them apart. However, using their emotions to save Descartes, again with the new body stuff, they were able to push past it and combine. When Regina was in danger, Duke used his emotions once again to combine to his super robot form. Which is actually where we can get into his support vehicle, because he was made to be Descartes' main partner, aside from Yuta, of course. Well, I consider Yuta his human partner and best friend. Well, Duke is his work partner and friend, but that's just me. Now his support vehicle is the Fire Rotor, which is a massive fire truck. Their combined form is appropriately titled Duke Fire, with Duke forming the shoulders, arms, and hands, while J Rotor forms the rest of the body. Also, his latter portion, being a fire truck, also contained Duke's Fire's main weapon, the Fire Sword. Now, the combined form for J Decker and Duke Fire is appropriately titled Fire J Decker, with Duke Fire separating, becoming foot extensions. His ambulance portions connecting to form arms, which can turn into multiple side weapons like a drill or a claw. And I don't know where the rest goes, but that's just me. But the fire portion that contains the sword is connected to Fire J Decker's waist, and can be used as the burning fire sword, where the blade is, as you guessed it, coated in fire. Now, before we get on to the next team, we need to go over another member. That being Gunmax, which does not have his own vehicle mode, but a robot that rides a motorcycle. Now, he's originally from the Traffic Police Division and refused to work with the others. But, however, over time, that did change. Now, he can also combine with his bike to form the Gunmax armor. Now, I'm not sure if this applies to the show, but in the toy line, Gunmax's toy was actually designed for his bike to split apart, so that his lower portion, mainly his legs, could form the arms and hands for the Gunmax armor. Now we could combine with Fire J Decker and regular J Decker for Max Cannon mode. Now in the TV show, his bike actually covered his body. However, in the toy line, he was actually connected to the back of his bike. But enough about that. Let's move on into the build team, which was the second support team for the build police. Now each of the builds. Hang on, sorry, that's my alarm. Now let's get into the build team in general. First, there is McCrane. Now, like his name suggests, he transforms into a crane. Now, each of the build team members have their own personal weapons. McCrane is a rifle. However, he was originally a pacifist, and rarely used his gun. Rarely used said rifle. However, as the series progressed, he gained more confidence in himself to use said rifle. Next is Power Joe, who transforms from a power shovel. His main weapon is nunchakus. He's actually good friends with three friends from youth school, that being Misaki, Emily, and those people being Misaki, Emily, and Kigumaro. Next is also McCrane has a close relationship with the chief of the defense force, Sae. Next is Dumpson, who transforms from a dump truck and has a close relationship with a female reporter and a recurring character series, Ayako. Now, his main weapons are spiked dumbbells. Now, these three combine into Build Tiger, but they originally had initial problems with this because they couldn't find a way to focus, so they couldn't combine. They originally tried taking Descartes' advice and thinking about Utah. However, that also failed. But later, by thinking about the people they've met up so far, they were eventually able to combine into Build Tiger. Now, McCrane forms the main torso and face and head. Also, the reason he's called Build Tiger, tiger on his chest. No, literally, a tiger head will flip out from his chest. Also a section of as far as I know, a section of McCrane will actually has his crane arm will form the left shoulder, arm, and hand, while Power Joe will form the right shoulder, arm, and hand, and Dumpson will form the feet and legs. Now, they later get another member called Drill Boy, and he is, considered a boy mech as a result of his childish personality. But but still, he's a loyal member to the team, and can combine with them to form Super Build Tiger. Because remember, kids, adding super to the first part of your combined robot makes it awesome. I'm personally more of a Fire Jake Decker fan myself, but you are good in my head, Super Build Tiger. I guess it should actually go over what Drill Boy adds to the table in this combination. Well, his main body portion actually separates, forming feet extensions. The drill portion actually connects to the chest, forming a new chest, which sort of reminds me of a saber-toothed tiger. because of the long fangs. And his wings form the wings. Now, while this is never seen in the show, as far as I know, in the toy line, the treads for Power Joe's Power Shovel mode connects to the back, where the wings connect. However, considering they're doing combining 4 mechs into one, obviously they're going to will not be very accurate. Now, they also get a new finisher by J. Decker connecting the J Buster and its sniper rifle mode. Also, the crane arm portion from McCrane's vehicle mode. They can actually use that as as their own weapon. Nice one, show creators. Nice. Again, now by plugging it in and combining powers and shooting a massive energy beam from the new Tiger chest, that attack is known as the Tiger Gimlet. And it is extremely powerful, so they don't use it all willy-nilly like, which is good. Next is Shadow Maru, which he's actually a redesign of the Decepticon since this was made by Takara, the Transformer 6 shot that I mentioned in my last video when I went over Dagon and Might Gang. Now, originally he didn't have 6 modes, only 5. That being 6 shots Robot, Wolf, this time being transformed into a canine, for police reasons, Jet, Car, and Tank. Now, 6 mode was a gun. However, due to some alien intervention, Shadow Maru was able to transform into that gun mode, known as the Brave Cannon! And I find that awesome. But now we got that out of the way, for the main ones anyway, I'm not going into their side characters here. Let's look into the Brave of Goldran. Now, Goldran was definitely a return to form. But that it was a return to form that was seen. Its mech premise was seen. It's based off of and somewhat inspired by Dagon. That being ancient warriors not possessing modern day vehicles, but having vehicle forms of their own. So, what's the overall plot? Well, 3 boys, being our main characters, Takuya, Kaizu, and Daiei, find a mysterious jewel called a Power Stone, which it's the warrior contained within calls them as they become his masters. However, another character named Prince Walter Wolzak, who aims to gain the Power Stones and take over the world. So the boys, while being mostly stationed out of Japan, travel the world to find the remaining 8 Brave Stones and, save the world. Now, each of the boys has a different item. Takuya having I'm not sure what you call it, a pendant maybe? Kaisuke, a flashlight, and Dai, a pair of binoculars, which can also be used to track the Brave Stones. Now, let's go into our main mechs. First, obviously, being Duran. Now, Duran's vehicle form is a sports car, and these guys being based on ancient warriors, his motif is that of a samurai. And as a result, he carries a sword that's placed on his hip. Now, his finisher is his support mech is a giant golden is a golden dinosaur known as Goldran, which they combine to form the titular main mech of the series, Goldran, with Goldran forming the main body. and forming the body, that includes the head, and Dran forming the chest area. Now, his finisher is the Super Rogolken, or the Super Dragon Fang Sword, which is an upgraded version of the sword Dran used, which is known as the Rugaken, or the Dragon Fang Sword, which is used to perform his finisher. Now, his main weakness is that he originally could not fly. However, he did have jet boosters that allowed levitation, so while he was big, he wasn't slow, but he couldn't fight enemies in the air. That's until the introduction of Sorakage, who, once again, keeping with ancient Japanese warriors, was based on a ninja. And instead of having a vehicle like Dran and having a separate vehicle form, his alternate form was that of a golden hawk, or phoenix or eagle. And after his introduction, he was mainly seen combined with Dran, forming a jetpack-like device, becoming Sky Goldran, which eliminated the weakness of Goldran's inability to fly. Also, this increases speed. Also, he got missile launchers. Yeah, you may not be one in my top 10, but Sky Goldran, you're definitely in my top 15. But anyway, through some events, the kids lose all the Brave Stones, except for one, who they were able to awaken before he was taken. This being Leon. Once again, keeping with ancient Japanese warrior themes here. His robo mode is based on that of a shogun, and his vehicle mode is a golden jet. Similar to Goldran, he does have an animal mech companion, this being Kaiser. And similar to Goldran, he can combine with it to form Leon Kaiser. With Leon Kaiser similar to Goldran, forming the main body and head, while Leon forms the chest. Now, his main weapon is the Kaiser Javelin, which is a 3-pronged spear. And later, due to some awesomeness, all three could combine to form Great Goldran. With Sorakage connecting to the back, similar to Sky Goldran, and Leon Kaiser separating, which again, I'm not going into how that works. However, I don't know where it's kept, but I'm pretty sure it's hind legs, can form a giant arrow in place of a cannon, known as the Great Archery, which allows Goldran to summon a golden arrow and shoot his opponents just like that. But anyway, let's get into the supporting team. That being the Silver Knights. Now, the Silver Knights are based more on European Western stuff. Okay, not Western, but still. Which will have the prefix Silvers. First, the leader of the Silver Knights is Jet Silver, who is based on a plane. And keeping with the theme of knights for these guys, he's based on a knight from ancient Greece. Next is Star Silver, whose vehicle mode transforms into that of a patrol car. Once again, with the Roman stuff, he transforms into a knight. He transforms into a knight from Rome. Also, keeping with the themes, each of them has their own shield and unique melee weapon. Their melee weapons, for Jet Silver, it is a spear. For Star Silver, it is a sword. Next is Drill Silver, who transforms from a drill tank into a green robot. Now, he's based on a Viking from Northern Europe, and his main weapon, being based on a Viking, is obviously an axe. Now their combined form is that of Silverion, with Jet Silver forming the main body and torso and chest, Star Silver forming the arms, hands, and shoulders, and that in-between area between the chest and the head, while Drill Silver forms the entire lower half. Now their weapons do combine into the Tri-Lancer and the Tri-Shield. Later the kids find the fourth member of the Silver team, that being Fire Silver. Now unlike his counterparts, he does not have a night-based theme. He is not based on a night. His vehicle mode is on an ambulance, and to once again distinct himself from his counterparts, is more of a long-range guy, and he has a lack of a shield. He later forms extensions for Silverion, that being a new pack for flight, a new chest armor, and feet extensions. These guys are known as God Silverion. And he also gets his own finisher, the God Finish! Because on that day, humanity was given a grim reminder. We must feel the gods. We're made of silver! Wait, that makes no sense. I'm weird like that. But anyway, let's get into some of the other Braves. First is Adventure, whose vehicle mode is that of a steam locomotive. He also is the most artillery based because he doesn't get an upgraded form. But by God, does he have a lot of gun and missile based weapons. His finisher literally opens the front of a steam engine and blasts fire from it. But anyway, next is Captain Shark, who is the hidden 9th Brave, and was not supposed to be awakened unless the other Braves on Earth fell into the hands of evil. Now, he transforms of that into a shark/spaceship, and was actually found by Walteru, who had a change of heart before the team went on the third and final arc of the series, finding the home where the Braves originally came from, and Captain Shark would help them out now and again. We later learn of a combination that he and Adventure have with each other. By Adventure connecting to a pool portion of Captain Shark, this show's equivalent to a cannon, that being the Hypergalactica Buster. And with all the Braves combining their powers, they could form the Hypergalactic Male Buster. Goldran forming the connect with a rifle portion that's connected to the bottom of Adventure, connecting to the shoulder. Captain Shark's fins flipping outwards, with God Silveron and Leon Kaiser holding them in place for stability reasons. Hang on, guys.